Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, very good afternoon. Switch on the videos. Okay. Pranav, Nestle, Krishna, Akshay, please switch on your videos. So, we are towards the end of the chapter number 2. What is the chapter all about? Let's sum up. Yes, tell me. What is the name of the chapter?
Recording transactions.
Relationship between bank, banker, and the customer. So, the relationship, what kind of a relationship exists between them? What is that type of relationship called? Yes?
Transactional relationship.
Transactional relationship. Very good. And when does that begin?
When the customer opens an account.
Very good, very good. When the customer opens the bank, it is from that time onwards the relationship begins. Okay. Type of relationship? Yes, nobody else in the class? Yes, Rahul, please.
Tester and creditor.
General relationship, special relationship. General relationship means it is the relationship as debtor and creditor, and we have special relationships. Which are they? Yes, point out. Principal agent.
Pledger
Lesser
and
and
pledge.
Yes.
Pledger and pledgee.
Pledger, pledgee. Then
lesser and lessee.
lesser, lessee. Then
Bail and bailment.
very good. Bailor, bailee. Then
Hypothecator, hypothecatee.
very good. Hypothecator, hypothecatee. Yes.
Trustee and beneficiary.
Very good. Trustee and beneficiary. Then anything more?
Advisor client.
Advisor and client. Right. Do you have more? Finish? Yes, that's it. And there was special kind of some other miscellaneous relationship was there. Okay? As a custodian, as a guarantor. Okay. Then special type of customers. There are special type of customers. Minor, married woman, lunatic. Then what else?
Drunkard,
Drunkard.
Yes?
drunkard.
Drunkard. Then one more.
Illiterate person.
Illiterate person. Okay. Then we studied that, we discussed that even the partnership firm, trust account, company, all they can begin account with the bank. They can operate account with the bank. Okay. Then the two types of banking. Which are they? Types of banking. Retail banking, wholesale banking. What is retail banking? Banking services provided to the normal individuals, to the public. That is retail banking. All that banking services when the banks provide it to their clients, the normal public, the individuals. That is called retail banking. At the same time, when the same banking services it is provided to the government, corporate organizations, then it is called wholesale banking. Okay. Then we studied about the types of deposits. Yes. How was the types of deposits? What was the classification? Please switch on the videos, everyone. It is for others to join. I am discussing all these previous questions. I am summing up all so that others can join by this time. Anyways, okay. So, types of accounts. Krishnan, only tell me 4 types of accounts.
Types of accounts.
Yes?
Wholesale.
Count. Account. What is the type of account that you begin in a bank?
Company account.
No. How do you start an account? What kind of an account do you open in a bank? Savings bank account, current account, fixed deposit account, okay, recurring deposit account. These are the 4 types of accounts that you maintain, that you open in a particular bank. Okay. Anyways, then the formalities for opening a bank. How do you, opening a account in a bank. How do you open an account? What are the formalities to be done? What is the formality? The first one? You visit a bank, you tell them, I want to open an account. So they'll tell you these are the different types of accounts available. You can either open savings bank account, current account, or fixed deposit. You can put some amount as fixed deposit, recurring deposit. These are the accounts available. You may choose anything. And if it is a savings bank account, they'll give you an account opening form. They'll give you a form. You will fill up everything, the details. Then KYC documents. What are they? KYC means?
Know your customer.
Louder.
Know your customer.
Know your customer. Know your customer. That means you give your identity proof and address proof. The documents are submitted. And we discussed about the KYC to be submitted by individuals, whether it is a partnership firm, whether it is a company, what are the different types of documents that has to be submitted with the bank. Then nomination, you may give some nominee, you may assign, you may choose a nominee. Then what else? Then we discussed the term money laundering. What was that, money laundering?
Making black money into white.
Very good. Making black money into white money. That is called money laundering. And there was 3 stages. How is it done? There were 3 techniques for doing this. Money laundering. I told you this is only required from that particular area. You should know what is money laundering, meaning of money laundering. Then the 3 stages.
Placement, layering,
Placement, layering, integration. Then rest of the portions you just read and understand. No need to go in depth. Okay, then once you submit the KYC documents, you give your identity proof, address proof, immediately what does the bank do? They will send you 3 documents. 3 important documents will be sent to your home address, whatever address proof you have given. That is to make sure whether the address you gave is correct or not, you are a genuine customer or not. So what are the documents that they sent? 3 books. Passbook, they'll send you the passbook, checkbook, pay in slip book. Passbook means it gives you all the details, all the transactions, whatever has taken place in your account. That is a book which shows you the summary, the statements, what has happened, what are the various deposits or withdrawals that you have made, the interest, if you have earned any interest, how much is debited, how much is credited. All these details will be given in your passbook. So the passbook will be sent to you in the address. Then checkbook, you know, it is a negotiable instrument. It is a paper where instead of giving the direct cash, you may transfer the money with the help of this check. Then pay in slip book. Pay in slip book means it is a slip that has to be filled up when you want to deposit some money in your account. You want to make deposit in your account. Then you should fill up this form, and this form should be submitted in the bank. That should be given to the bank. Okay? And then we moved on to the types of business. Different types of business. Which were they? So, did you get an idea about this chapter? These are the various topics we discussed in this chapter. All about the relationship. And now, the types of business. What was the first type of business?
sole proprietorship.
Sole proprietorship. Very good. Sole proprietorship form of business. And the next one? In order to overcome the limitations of sole proprietorship, what do we do?
Partnership.
Partnership. Very good. Partnership. Then partnership is based on an agreement. What is that agreement called? If it is in the written format?
Partnership deed.
Partnership deed. Okay, partnership deed. Then in the previous class we started with the last form. Last form. What was that? What was that? So I think it's time to give you a test on this chapter. Nobody is learning. Saturday, exam, second chapter. Okay? Please note it down. Saturday, you will be having a test on the chapter. Saturday. Please note it. 11A, banking, chapter 2. Okay, we were with company. In the previous class, we discussed about company, the meaning of company. What is company? Company is association of persons, a group of people, they come together, they start a business. That is a company, and there was classifications for company. We classified it on the basis of number of members, on the basis of liability, on the basis of ownership, the classifications. Then we stopped with the features. We were discussing with the features of a company. Body corporate, already discussed. That means it is a company is having a separate legal existence and it will be registered under a particular act. Okay, there is a act to regulate, and it is the Companies Act 2013. I told you in the previous class, what was the previous act called? Companies Act, which year? It was Companies Act 1956. Okay, that was the act. Later on, now it has changed, the modifications have been made, and now it is Companies Act 2013. Separate legal entity. As you all know, a company is a separate legal entity. It is a separate person, different from its owners. Owners are different, company is different. Okay. Liability. Liability, it differs, as we know, on the basis of liability itself, we are classifying the company as unlimited liability, limited liability, so on. Liability limited to the guarantee. So there are three types of companies based on liability. So that is about liability. Perpetual succession. Perpetual succession means even though if one of the member in a company or somebody dies, okay, but still it is not going to affect the functioning of the company. The company will move on. I mean, the company will continue its functioning. We know that sole proprietorship, there is only one owner. If something happens to him, that is over. The business stops. That is over. Coming to the partnership also, if one of the partner, there are only two partners, and if one partner dies, then the partnership comes to an end. And even if there is 3 or 4 more partners also, if something happens to one partner, that particular partnership will come to an end. If other partners want to continue, they will continue it, but with new agreement. You cannot continue with the old agreement. Old agreement, it includes the person, the deceased person also. Deceased person means the partner who is dead. He is also included in the partnership deed. So they cannot continue the partnership firm when one of the partner dies. So there also the partnership will come to an end. But talking about this company, even if anything happens to the members, okay, the owner or the board of directors, anybody who dies in between, still that's okay. Death took place, okay, but it is not affecting the company. The company will continue functioning. So that is perpetual succession. Okay. Common seal. What was the common seal?
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, your screen is not showing.
Okay. I'm sorry. Sharing. I didn't share it. Common seal. Common seal. So, what is common seal? Common seal means we know that the company, we all have our own signatures. Wherever the signature is required, we'll put it. Similarly, this is the signature of the company. Common seal, the seal that you see, the stamp, the seal, the seal that you put on the documents. Common seal. The company being an artificial person, it is an artificial person. The company cannot sign its name by itself. So, the company is required to have its own seal. Okay, that is the official signature of the company. Okay, common seal. Next one is transferability of shares. Transferability of shares means, I told you, the company, when it requires more capital, they will sell their shares and we all of us can purchase it. Okay, there is a company and I have purchased share. Okay, there is a company and I have purchased some shares. If suppose I don't want to continue, I don't want this, I am not interested in keeping this shares, so I thought I'll transfer it to my friend. Okay, and that friend, he is very interested to have shares of this company, so I can transfer it. That is transferability of shares. They are, the shares of a public limited company are freely transferable. The permission of the company or the consent of any member of the company is not necessary for the transfer of shares. Okay, so the shares can be transferable. That is transferability of shares. Next is may sue or may be sued. That means company is considered as a artificial person. It is a separate person. So the company, it can purchase land, make purchases, do sales, purchase the properties, anything in its name. Okay, if the company purchases a land, that means the land belongs to the company, not the owners. Okay, and may sue or may be sued. So if the company want to file a case in the court, the company can even file a case against someone or anything else, anyone. The company, if it is facing some trouble, they can file a complaint in the court. That is, and also if some other company, any other company or any other person can also give case on our company also. So it may be sued, or it can also, the company can also file a case. Okay, and the case may come to the company also. So that is may sue or may be sued. A company being a legal person can enter into contracts and can enforce the contractual rights against others. It can sue and be sued in its name if there is a breach of contract by the company. If the contract, if the agreement, if it is not properly carried out, something happens, breach of the contract means you are not following it in the right way. It stops in the middle. Okay, so it may be sued or may be sued. That's it. So this is all about company, and with this we come to an end of this chapter. The relationship between the banker and the customer. This is all about this chapter. So don't forget, you will be having a test on Saturday, banking chapter 2. The other papers, I have gone through it, I have corrected. It's there with me. Okay, don't be absent. Only 10 in the class. Now let us start with the next chapter. Anything you want to ask on this chapter, based on this chapter? So you can expect one word questions, maybe MCQ, maybe fill in the blank, such questions for Saturday. Also 2 mark question, then an essay. Okay, this is a format I am going to give you, format of question paper. Okay, can you see the screen? Were you able to see? So, we are going to start with our third chapter, employment of bank funds. Employment of bank funds. So, when you learn, first understand what is the chapter name. So, you get an idea about what the chapter is all about. Employment of bank funds. Employment of bank funds. You know, fund means money. Fund is money. And employment, that means the bank is having money in the form of, they get the money in the form of deposits. So, how do they make use of it? Or what do they do with these funds? Okay? Are you just, are they, I mean the bank, they are simply keeping it? Or are they making use of it? Are they investing it somewhere? What are they doing with this fund? Where do they allocate this? That is employment. Employment of bank funds. Okay? How do the banks spend this money? So, let's begin employment of bank funds. Yes, we know about the balance sheet. Okay? The balance sheet. The balance sheet has got how many sides? How many sides? Balance sheet. Tell me. Balance sheet has got two sides. Yes, 2 sides. This is how a balance sheet looks. Balance sheet. Balance sheet has got 2 sides, same like an account. Am I right? But we provide columns like this, amount column. And what is the right hand side? It is assets. You can find the assets on the right hand side, and on the left hand side you can see the liabilities. Liabilities. Okay, liabilities shown on the left hand side and assets are shown on the right hand side. This is how a balance sheet looks. So now tell me, what are the assets and liabilities of a bank? Yes, which are the assets and what are the liabilities for a bank, regarding a bank?
And borrowers are the assets.
Borrowings.
Depositors are liability.
Yes. Whatever deposit the bank receives, they are the liability. Why? Because one day they will have to pay it back to the depositor. And similarly, the loans and advances that they provide, the borrowings, okay, that is their asset, because the bank's money they are giving it to them. So definitely they will pay back it. So they are the assets. So you know that. Now let us understand the term liquid assets. Already I have told you all these, but still liquid assets. You remember liquid assets? Liquid assets are those assets, they are assets which are easily converted into cash, which can be easily converted into cash, or which are already in the form of cash. Okay, that is called liquid asset. Liquid asset is an asset that can be easily converted into cash. Easily converted into cash means the conversion takes place quickly within short period of time. Okay? Or the assets which are already converted into cash. Suppose you have 100 rupees with you now in your purse. You have 100 rupee note in your purse. Also 100 rupee note in the bank account. So what are they? They are the liquid assets. You can easily make use of it. They are already in the cash form when it is in your purse. And when the amount in the bank, you can anytime withdraw it and you make use of it. You understand? So that is liquid assets. A liquid asset is an asset that can be easily converted into cash in a short amount of time, short period of time, or funds that are already converted in cash. Okay. In accounting terms, we say that liquid assets are cash or cash equivalents. In the accountancy textbooks, in accountancy, you may see the definition this way. Liquid assets are cash or cash equivalents. Okay, that are readily, easily converted into cash. That's it. The liquid assets. Now let's understand the features of liquid assets. Features of liquid assets. The first point, it is easily converted into cash. It is easily converted into cash and easily transferable also. You can transfer it. I can give one of you 100 rupees. Now, if I have it in the purse, I can immediately give you. It is easily transferable. Easily convertible and transferable. This is one feature of liquid asset. Next, economic value. It has got a financial value. And this value is not going to change. 100 rupee note is 100 rupee note only. It has got a financial value. There is a value for it. And the value is not going to change suddenly. Tomorrow the value doesn't change. Okay. So that is economic value. Low risk and excellent quality. Risk is low. You have the cash with you. It is not going to get damaged, nothing. Yes, risk is there. It can easily get torn, a rupee note. There is risk. But we are not going to tear it purposely. We are not going to spoil the notes. No, we don't do that. But unfortunately, unexpectedly, it may happen. That's okay. But still you can say that risk is low. And the quality, excellent quality. Deep markets. Deep market means these assets have developed securities exchange or markets where the instruments trade without risk of loss of value. I told you about the market, the financial markets. You can trade this. Okay? When the companies are in need of money, they go to the market, they purchase or sell their shares. So that is market. Understand the point? We'll come to it in detail later. So these are the features of liquid asset. Easily convertible, economic value, low risk, excellent quality, and deep markets. Now, what are these liquid assets? We only spoke about cash. Now, coming to the bank, for them, which are these liquid assets? What are they? Cash in hand, already discussed. Cash in hand, the cash that we keep with us in our hand, that is cash in hand. Money at call and short notice. I'll tell you that very soon. Let me tell you the points. Cash in hand, money at call and short notice. Balances with RBI. See, these banks, we know that they receive deposits from the customers, and this deposits, making use of this deposit, they give loans to the borrowers, whoever is in need. Okay. See, whatever deposits they get, they cannot lend the entire amount. They have to maintain a particular percentage of that deposit with RBI. You understand? Okay, if a bank, and there is, I'll tell you how they maintain that, but still let me tell you, if there is 1 crore rupee or 10 crore rupees there, they have to maintain certain percentage, let's take 4%, okay, with the RBI, and this is called CRR. We will be learning it soon. Immediately after this topic, I'll tell you what is CRR. Cash reserve ratio. CRR is cash reserve ratio. Okay. So out of this 4 crore with the bank, they will have to maintain 4% with RBI. They should keep it with RBI. Cash reserve ratio. It is a reserve. Okay. You make it a reserve. So 4 crore will go to RBI. And the rest of the amount, 6 crore, only this 6 crore is available now to lend it as loan to the public. You understand? So that is balances with RBI. The banks, they cannot lend the entire deposits that they receive as loans to the customers. But they should maintain certain percentage with RBI. 10 crore is there. Out of that, 4 crore they will have to maintain with RBI as reserve. That is called balances with RBI. Then balances in current account with other bank. What are these current account? The types of account we learned: savings bank account, current account, fixed deposit account, recurring deposit account. What is this current account? Who opens the current account? Who opens the current account? Current accounts are opened by the business firms, businesses. They are the ones who open current account. Why? Because they have numerous transactions going on in a business. To facilitate that, they will open current account and there is no interest. Current account doesn't receive any interest. Okay? So, the banking is a business. So, the banks might have accounts. A bank will be maintaining an account with other bank. So, whatever balances the bank maintains with the other bank, okay, that is called balances in current account with other banks. Interbank deposits, similarly, deposits will be maintained among the banks. One of the bank, they will be having deposit in another bank and it is due within 30 days. Okay, anyways, note these points. These are the liquid assets of a bank. Liquid assets of a bank: cash in hand, money at call and short notice, balances with RBI, balance in current account with other banks, interbank deposits due within 30 days. Okay. So, what is liquid assets? What are liquid assets, Akshay Vagis?
Assets that can be converted easily into cash.
Very good. Yes, they are liquid assets. What are the features of liquid assets, Krishna?
Ma'am, it has economic value,
Very good.
low risk and excellent quality,
Okay.
deep markets, and then ready cash.
What was the last point? I didn't get you.
Cash in hand,
It is easily converted into cash. I am talking about the features. Easily converted into cash or transferable. Then economic value is there. Risk is low. Then it has got market, deep market. Okay. And these are the various liquid assets: cash in hand, money at call, balance with RBI, balance in current account with the other banks, interbank deposits. I stop with this. Today, this is enough. So, you will learn for the exam on Saturday. Okay?